Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Nicobar project, a project that has come into the headlines recent time because many environmentalists are saying that under this project there is a large scale diversion of forest land. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss in details what this project is all about and what are the need for this project and also what are the concerns associated with this. I'm sure this particular topic is very important as far as the environment and biodiversity section of UPSC civil service examination is concerned. And there are a lot of facts information you'll find under this video which can help you in both prelims as well as the mains examination. So let us try and understand this particular topic in more detail. To give you a brief introduction, first of all, we are going to discuss introductory part of this project. We are also going to discuss in detail about the geography of the region. That means where the Great Nicobar Island lies, what is the geographical features that you'll find on this island and also the nearby areas. Third, we are going to discuss in details about what the project is all about and what will happen in this particular project. Then we are also going to discuss that what is the ecological significance of this particular region, the Great Nicobar Island of the Andaman Nicobar Island, and of course the concern associated with this particular project, and finally the need and conclusion related with that particular topic. So the reason why this particular issue is news because recently the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change ministry has granted an in principle or also called as stage one clearance for the diversion of almost 130.75 square kilometer land of or a square kilometer of forest in the Great Nicobar Island of the Andaman Nicobar Island group. The diversion of land is going to take place because it will help in construction of mega rupees 72,000 crore project that involves basically construction of a transshipment port, an airport, as well as a power plant, as well as a greenfield township. Now, the project implementation agency in this particular project is Andaman and Nicobar Island Integrated Development Corporation, that is ANIITGO. Now, this is a very important fact because such kind of factual information can be easily asked in the upcoming prelims examination. So let us first try to understand the geography of this particular area. So as we have discussed, Great Nicobar is a small island that is part of Andaman and Nicobar Island group. Now Andaman and Nicobar Island group are two major group of islands that is situated in the Bay of Bengal of the eastern coast of India. And also we can see the Andaman Island is divided into four major island groups. We have North Andaman, Middle Andaman, Lower Andaman or Little Andaman. Now, interestingly, what we have to remember here is that if we look at between Lower Andaman and Little Andaman, we can see there is a water body or water passes that is acting as a dividing line. This water passes or water body is also known by the name of Duncan Passage. Similarly, between Andaman and Nicobar Island group, again we have a water body that is separating these two island group, and this particular water body is known by 10-degree channel. So as you can see, there are four major islands in the Andaman group, and similarly we have 5-6 important islands in the Nicobar group. And Great Nicobar, as you can clearly see from the map here, is believed to be the largest island of Nicobar Island group. Now let us look at this island more closely. So this is the map of Great Nicobar Island group, and as you can see, the green area represents such area which are conserved or preserved, or we can say reserved in one or other manner. So more than 90% of Great Nicobar's area is covered by the reserved areas such as national park, or we have buffer zones or tribal reserves and these kind of areas. Apart from that, what we can see, the another important fact is the highest point of Great Nicobar is something that is called as Mount Thwiller. And as you can see, there is Indra Point that is believed to be the southernmost point of India. However, many experts believe that during the tsunami of 2004, this Indra Point was completely washed away by the tsunami waves that struck this particular island. Apart from that, few other important facts about island is that overall area of this island is somewhere about 921 square kilometer, and largely it is inhabited by Shompen tribe as well as the Nicobarese tribe. So due to the island being inhabited by the Shompen tribe, there is also a concern that with the upcoming project, that is Project Nicobar, a large area that these tribes use for hunting and foraging activity will also be destroyed, will also become part of project, and that will affect adversely the livelihood opportunities for the Shompen tribe. Second, as far as the Great Nicobar area or island is concerned, it was declared a biosphere reserve in year 1989, and similarly in year 2013 it was included under the UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Reserve program. So what this project is all about? So first of all, as we discussed, this is a very mega project of Government of India. Is believed to have expenditure of roughly 72,000 crore rupees. And the first part of this project is the construction of an international container transshipment terminal with a volume of almost 14.2 million TEUs. Second part of the project will be construction of a greenfield international airport, which will have expected capacity of 4,000 passengers. Now, what is Greenfield International Airport? All of us are aware about international airport, that is the airport from which international flights takes off and we can say take off. So as far or arrives, and as far as the Greenfield International Airport is concerned, so we can divide any project into two types. One, we have Greenfield project. Greenfield projects are such projects where a project or any construction is done from the scratch. That means before there is no such existing structure, there's a plain area or there is a forest area, and everything has to be done from the very beginning. However, on the other hand, we have certain projects which are classified as brownfield projects. So brownfield projects are such projects where already certain structures were existing. For example, if we talk about brownfield airport, that means there is already a small airport, or we can say airport structure is already present there, and now that particular or old airport has to be demolished and new construction has to begin. So such projects are called as brownfield project. So obviously in the case of this particular instance, the airport is going to be greenfield. Apart from that, the focus will also be on the construction of a township, because people who are working there, who will work there after completion of this project, will need residential places to live, and that is why there will be a township. Apart from that, there will be also a gas plant as well as a solar power plant. Now, obviously, because this particular island is lying in the tropical and equatorial zone, so what we can say is that the possibility of harnessing solar energy is quite higher. As far as the projects is concerned, it will cover almost 167 square kilometer, and it will be completed in two phases. The phase 1 of the project will begin in year 2021. Now it has been delayed, so it will begin in year 2022, and now it will go all the way up to 2036. While the second phase of the project will go from 2037 to 2051. So as we can see, this project is not a short-term project, but it is a project that will span over the upcoming decades, and that is why its importance should be highlighted. Now, the ecological significance of the island is something you also have to understand. As we discussed in the earlier slide, that if you look at the area of Great Nicobar Island, more than 95% of its area is covered by national parks, protected forests, as well as tribal reserve area. And that is why UNESCO has clearly highlighted that this particular island has unique and threatened tropical evergreen forest ecosystem that has large number of endemic as well as endangered fauna and floral species. Not only that, even Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change of the Union Government says that there are 650 species of flora and 330 species of fauna that is present in the Great Nicobar Island, including endemic species. And the most important or popular endemic species, common endemic species of this particular location is we have Nicobarese tree shrew, then we have also Nicobari long-tailed macaque, then we have Great Nicobar crescent eagle, as well as Nicobarese megapod. And it is believed that if this project goes on, then the habitat of all these endemic species of island will be severely and critically threatened, and also it can cause large decline or large scale decline in the number of these animal population. Now, before completion of this project or before beginning of this project, there are certain conditions that has been laid out by the Environment and Forest Ministry. The first condition is that before this project can take off, there has to be a submission of detailed scheme for the compensatory afforestation. Now, compensatory afforestation is a program that has been launched earlier by the Government of India, where if in any part of India, due to developmental work, if some forest area or some forest land has to be diverted, some forest area has to be cut off, then the similar kind of area has to be selected in some other places of India, and afforestation should be done here, so that the deforestation due to any development project is compensated by afforestation in some other part of India. And as far as this project is concerned, it is believed that as a compensatory afforestation, it is a non-notified forest land of Haryana, it has been chosen. However, there is also another problem. Another problem is that as far as the Haryana is concerned, it already has a very small area, and also a large scale forest, large areas of Haryana's forest are also being diverted for several construction as well as development projects. So in this context, how can we do afforestation, compensatory afforestation in Haryana is again a big question. However, as per the recent report submitted under the environmental impact assessment, it has been clarified that rather than Haryana, now it is the Madhya Pradesh state where the compensatory afforestation for the Nicobar project will be carried out. So we'll have to watch and see that what exactly happens as far as this particular aspect is concerned. Apart from that, Environment Ministry has also clarified that rupees 3,670 crore, 72 crore rupees have to be earmarked for the environment management plan. And third, that because once this project takes off, there will be a lot of adverse as well as a lot of impact we can see on the habitat and on the biodiversity of the Great Nicobar. So Environment Ministry has clarified that they will set up 3 independent committees. The one committee will look after the matters related to pollution due to the project. Second committee will refer to the materials or matters related to biodiversity and how the biodiversity is being affected by the project. And also the third and the most important, there also will be a committee to make sure that the tribal rights are protected and the tribes such as we discussed, Shompen tribe or Nicobaris tribes are not critically affected after the completion or after the initiation of this particular project. So these 3 independent committees will work together to ensure that the rights of environment as well as the rights of tribals are protected even though project is going on. However, despite all these conditions, the environmentalists all across India and even from UNESCO has raised concern about the project. The first concern is that after this project is initiated or once this project is completed, it will lead to felling off over more than 850,000 trees, which is very high number, and this will result into loss of almost 12 to 20 hectares of mangrove forest. The mangrove forests are the forest that grows in the coastal areas in the environment where we have mixing of both fresh water as well as the salt water. So mangrove forests are very unique ecosystem and have a lot of positive impact on the nearby biodiversity as well as the animal life in that area. Second, some environmentalists have also raised the concern that the ongoing project is in clear violation of the Supreme Court order, which was given in year 2008, where Supreme Court has clearly said that there should be no further de-reservation of forest, sanctuaries, or national park, while this particular project specifically tries to do so in the Great Nicobar Island. Third concern is that since there is a large mangrove forest in this area that will be destroyed, it will also cause considerable loss to the coral reefs in this particular areas and will claim over 298 hectares of the seabed. So as we know that corals are threatened everywhere in the world, and the major focus of the major environmental agencies of the world today are protection and preservation of coral reef ecosystem, because coral reef, though they occupy very less area in the ocean, they support a very huge biodiversity, and it is said that the biodiversity of corals are even greater than the biodiversity of the tropical or equatorial rainforest on the land. So that is why the destruction of corals will be very bad for the ecosystem, especially the marine ecosystem. Not only that, some geographers also have raised concern that while the principal approval for the project has been granted, the geological volatility of island has not been taken into concern and has not been factored. An example is that as we have just discussed, that in year 2004 there was gigantic 8-meter tsunami wave that have struck this island and have caused complete washing out of the southernmost, that is Indra Point, that was located on this particular island. So obviously we cannot say with 100% guarantee that this kind of incident will not occur in the future. And if such incident occur in the future, the damage to the infrastructure that has been created in the project will be humongous, and that is something that has not been taken into consideration in this particular project. So these are the few concerns that have been raised by the environmentalist. But the question comes that why, despite so much concern, government has given a go ahead, and what is the need of this project in the current scenario? So first of all, as we know that the Great Nicobar region is a part of Andaman Nicobar Island Group and is located in a very strategic hotspot of the Indian Ocean region. If you look at the map here, as we can clearly see, this is around somewhere we can understand is the Andaman Nicobar Island, and there is a large volume of maritime trade that is taking place between Europe, Africa, Arabian Peninsula, India, East Asia, Southeast Asia, and that is why this is a very important hotspot from economic point of view. Not only that, both Indian Navy as well as Chinese Navy are trying to maintain their supremacy or trying to achieve their supremacy in this region. not only from economic point of view but also from the strategic and defense point of view. This area is critically important because Chinese Navy are trying to maintain their supremacy by leasing out, or we can say by constructing a lot of different ports in the nearby countries such as Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, as well as Ethiopia. And at the same time, Indian Navy also in the coming time will try to maintain its superiority or supremacy by ensuring that this area remains free from any kind of conflict. And this will also be in line with the free and open Indo-Pacific goal of the Quad grouping, of which India is a member. Second, we can also understand that it is a critical mass of development that is making this project very necessary, because for a very long period of time, Andaman Nicobar area has not been developed and it has left alone. However, the development has mainly concentrated on the mainland India. So this is also a welcome change that the government is thinking to witness in the coming times. And third, we can say that it will also help in strengthening India's regional presence as far as the Indian Ocean region is concerned. So it is under this context the project has been given a go ahead. So what we can say in conclusion, that obviously it is important in the recent geopolitical, the particular island is very important as far as the recent geopolitical tussles and geopolitical control is concerned. However, as we look clearly from the environment and biodiversity point of view, we can understand a statement that has been made by a researcher that it is unfortunate that we hear the destruction of some of the finest tropical forests in the country at the same time as when the India is telling the world at the ongoing United Nations Climate Conference that India is part of the solution and not the problem. And that is why such steps of government of India is believed to create a huge gap clearly between the words and the deeds. So something we have to understand and we have to think about, that how to maintain a just balance between the environment and the development. So that is a question that we have not been able to get a clear answer, and that is something that will keep on boggling our mind of common man experts as well as the government. So I hope you understood about the Nicobar project. What is the project Nicobar and what are the needs and concern about this? If you like the video, please hit like, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. That is all for this particular video. Thank you very much.